Hey, it's me, Brian. Whoa, let me get the shadow out of the way. I was gonna pick it up where I left it off, the other day, right? With, where was that? Part number 5, yeah. College kids and cops. This is where it starts, right? Okay, now. Did I forget where I started that already? No. Oh, yeah. This is what scared them. This is what fucked Trump up, right? And his whole plan kind of sort of got sidetracked a little bit because they weren't expecting this, right? They had everything under control. Think about it. I mean, everybody was scared to death. They were staying inside. Nobody was going to work. All the companies, all the jobs. Everybody was closed. No restaurants. The only thing that was open was Circle K, right? The grocery store, and you couldn't get toilet paper nowhere. We had to hunt our toilet paper down in the little dollar store up the fucking street from our house where we were staying at, right? And then the Korean people, man, they were smart. They bought all the toilet paper the month before from Costco, from the business center out there at Grand and 35th Avenue. They bought like the whole pallet. Right? And they sat on that shit for weeks and weeks and weeks. And finally, when the shit hit and they knew what was going on, them Korean people, that lady, she looked you right in the eye. She wouldn't even blink, dude. She tell you $3.50 for a roll. You pay now? Okay, but check this out. Right? That was about it. I mean, gas station, right? I mean, there are no independent gas stations anymore. So now it's like convenience store like Circle K or Chevron Mart or AMPM or something. Saying they were open, right? And some Safeway was open. A couple of other grocery stores were open. Let's see what else is open. The bars were closed, right? The restaurants were closed, right? Most of the service places were closed. The T-Mobile place was closed. I called them up and he said, "No, we're not going to open up for a while." I said, "How long's a while?" He said, "Maybe 6 months." I said, "What? You crazy?" See, everybody was paranoid. Everybody was afraid. Nobody knew who had what was going to fuck on. The cops didn't have a whole lot to do because everybody was hiding. They were hiding out in their house, working from home. The bus. Slowly the transition was made, right? Because the reality of the situation is you really don't need a whole bunch of technical gear and hardware and all kinds of shit to do remote work. I watch Anonymous a million times. I've done it myself. You sit down, you hook up your laptop to the Wi-Fi, you connect with your website, whatever you're gonna do. You log in, bingo, there you go. There's all your files, there's all your fucking bullshit, there's all your reports, there's everything you was working on down at the office. Why? Because you saved it before you left the office, right? Why? So you could work on when you got home, right? It's that simple. Look. I mean, the channel. I think it was Channel 12 News, right? That they do the Arizona morning show. It's like this, the television show in the morning that lasts like 4 hours, and all they do is blaberate and you just say the same shit over and over and over and over, right? Well, check it out. This is how paranoid the news people were, right? The whole station, except for two guys, right? The anchor dude and the main camera guy, right? And then the two dudes upstairs in the booth that were running the mixer board and all that shit. There was 4 people in the TV station. All the rest of the people that started this show and the news reporters and the journalists and the camera dudes and the van drivers and everybody else was working from home. You're still seeing them, dude. A couple, 3, 4 days into the whole COVID-19 pandemic thing, they were at home wearing their jammies, slurping for coffee, talking about, "Good morning, Arizona. Today we're going to talk about COVID-19 and how to keep yourself safe and how to keep your babies and everybody safe. Don't let grandma get it. Wash your hands," right? In their jammies. I mean, like the fat dude that does the critic shit, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even come out of his house. I don't think he has yet. Right? And it's been like 3.5 months already. But anyways, Trump, right, was convinced in his own mind, you know what I'm saying, that the government had a handle on it, right? Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. The governors were fucking acting right. Saying the senators and the House of Representative peoples and the Democrats were acting right. Everything was falling into line. His little plan was all working, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, right, a month or so, a month and a week, month and 10 days or so in, right? It started in places like Phoenix, Minneapolis, right? I think there was one in Canton, Ohio, right? There was some in Kansas, there was some in Texas, right? There was some in Seattle. Seattle had their you know, right? And here in Phoenix, they called it clog the streets, right? One bright morning, one bright Monday morning, when everybody's supposed to be at home, hiding under their bed, right? A bunch of, like about a couple of thousand intrepid souls that live here in Phoenix, they said jumped in their cars with this mad plan, and they all drove straight down to the Capitol building, right up here at Washington, between 19th Avenue and 15th Avenue, along Washington and Jefferson. That's where all the state buildings are, dude. And there's like two streets going this way. Jefferson's one way, Washington's one way. You go the other way. There's a couple of streets across back and forth this way, but that's about it. It surrounds the whole Capitol area, the whole state, property building. And there's only like one or two DPS officers that patrol this area. State police. Right? They showed up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, bright and early, right? And every one of them had their car and their truck, and the Jimmy Jacks had their 4-wheel drives. You know what I'm saying? And the youngsters was there all hooting and hollering, right? You know what I'm saying? And the two DPS officers didn't know what the fuck to do, because now here they're facing down 5,000 people, and half of them got guns, right? You know what I'm saying? And they're pissed off. And what are they doing? They're parked their vehicles right in the middle of the streets, main thoroughfares, and shut down the entire Capitol area from 19th Avenue to 15th Avenue, from Washington and Jefferson. Boom, nothing moved, nothing. The police couldn't even get in. They had to walk in. They had to send in the bicycle cops, right? To, try to restore order. But there was nothing out of order. These people were well within their legal rights to protest, and that's what they were doing. And this is what they were protesting. They wanted out. It's been a month and a half. Oh, Arizona didn't get that bad in the first place. All the numbers are down. Everybody flattened the curve. We all did our part. It was mostly the independent and small business people, owners, restaurant owners, right, and bar owners and places like that. Joe Blow's mechanic shop, right. Millie's grandma's diner. Right, I mean, all these people they've been holed up in their house, living on their savings, living on whatever profit they made from the last quarter, right? You know what I'm saying? And feeling guilty as fuck because they had to lay off their employees, and their employees ain't getting paid shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Trump had it in the bag until that Monday, because when all them people went off and they all marched down to their state capitol building and they all stuck their finger up in the air and they told Trump exactly this: "Fuck you." Right? This is bullshit. Half of them weren't, is this even real? You know what I'm saying? It's all crap, man. I'm going broke because of this shit. Half of those people, right, you know what I'm saying, that participated in the protests and threw a fit, right, what they were saying came true. And what were they saying? That if something didn't change, if they weren't allowed to go back to work, right, that they were going to lose everything. And they did. Right? There was something like 35,000 small businesses right here in Maricopa County went under. Boom, in a week. Close their doors. I've been riding my bike around town all over the place. I've been seeing places that used to do bang up business. I mean, people, all the time. Not anymore. Even the ones that hung in there, right, and you stayed alive, right, and opened back up when the Governor Doug said it was okay. They're barely scratching it. Where before, you couldn't keep people out of the place. Now, right, they're still paranoid to go into the place because they don't know what the fuck's going on. And the radio stations are advertising the fucking, I can't remember their name, the cleaning service, you know what I'm saying? Right? But we're going to do a deep clean on your whole entire business area. We'll spray, we'll kill, we'll sweep, we'll mop, we'll do everything for $3.95 per room. Right? And all these big time corporations downtown on Central City, they're buying in on this, and they're fucking, yeah, we had the deep clean by Jiffy Man. People are still scared. Except for them small, intrepid souls that stood up to Trump. Right? And then Trump so he freaked him out. They didn't know what to do. But there was like a whole 10-day period in there. Remember I was talking about before, number 4, right? The news people were just pumping it. All of a sudden, bang, it was like, wait a minute. There's people protesting. There's people fighting back. Yeah, they're fighting back, boo. Right? Taking away their freedom. Right? And a lot of them are thinking, especially the NRA members and the preppers and everybody else, this is what they're thinking. They're trying to take away our guns. They're going to come and get us. They're going to kick the door in, Mars. We better get ready. And they did. And they still are. And now, right, this last couple of weeks, we've had this rash of murders, right, by the police. right? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to call it anything. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Even the news people are saying murders by the police. People have had enough. Had enough, right? And they don't know what to do. Right? So you notice, right, that slowly, you know what I'm saying, it's starting to ramp down. We ain't getting as many COVID-19 updates every day, right? Maybe every week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the news is going to start to tell us other shit now. Hell, they're talking about the Diamondbacks going to start to play baseball. And check it out. They haven't been in the, they have been last place in the league for, I don't know, 3-4 years in a row now. Now, all of a sudden, bang, the Diamondbacks got a chance. We got a team now, niggas. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. but my friend Chris is sitting right here next to me. He's black. He didn't react. Oh, tell him, bro.
What that?
That was not out of place, was it? That was in the flow, huh? I'm sorry. Anyways, so now, right, the focus is shifted from COVID-19, coronavirus, the pandemic, right? Remember, this is affecting the whole world. It switched from that to zoomed right in, you understand, on the Minneapolis police because they killed that dude, George Floyd, right? Okay, but they didn't say a damn thing about the 93 people that before George Floyd that the Minneapolis police killed this year. Right? Here's a fact, right? Phoenix, Arizona, Maricopa County, right? You know what I'm saying? There are at least, right, 2 to 4 officer-involved shootings every quarter.
Government, don't come for me.
Officer-involved shootings. You guys know what that means? That means they shot somebody dead, right? Here, the SWAT, they don't use the SWAT team. Every fucking cop, dude, he's got the whole gig. He got the whole setup in the trunk of his cruiser, right? He's in the backseat of his SUV. He got machine guns. He got everything, body armor, right? The whole bit, right? Okay, so this is what Trump did, right? Trump, because he jumped on the train in the first place to take advantage of the COVID-19 thing when it first started with the Chinese, so he could do the old switcheroo on us, right? Might as well take advantage of the next one that comes along, right? They needed to change direction anyway, right? The people were starting. They're still right. Check it out, dude. What did they say last night was the 14th night in a row the college kids fucking protested downtown. 14 nights, 14 days in a row, right? About half of the ASU college students that live downtown on the downtown campus, and that's around 35,000 kids. About half of them, right, for the last 14 days in a row, have marched up and down, round and round downtown. You know, remember clog the streets? Well, these ones there was protest, right? Say Black Lives Matter. I'm all cool with that. But what about my life? Don't I matter too? Right? If we're all in this together, then it's all about us, not just some of us, right, Chris?
Exactly.
Right? You understand? Now, so what does Trump do? So Trump fucking he starts bitching and hollering about the police need to dominate the streets. The governors need to get more stricter. You need to arrest some of them people and lock them up, right? Put them away, keep them away, right? And the news media's right wait a minute, because they ain't had no decent news to fucking spin in weeks. And all of a sudden Trump is talking some mad shit, like, dictator shit. Acting like, dictator shit. Right? Thinking, we already know he thinks like he's the elitist of the elite. Right? So now, you're saying everybody's riled up. Right? They start talking about calling out the National Guards and, right, giving them real bullets, right? Helicopters and Humvees, right? Well, I tell you what happened here in Phoenix, right? All the native Phoenicians that were born and raised here, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us, right? We ain't going to stand too much for that. Right? It's already gone too damn far. Right? So that's what scared them. What scared them is when we stood up and said, we've had enough. And this is bullshit. And now check this out. And now look at this. And now look at this crap. And now the cops are killing us. Right? Trump's finely oiled plan only halfway worked. Right? He got all the fucking technical shit, fucking everything done and switched over. right? Everything like that, and that's why the fucking system, the system is like way different. You notice everything now is either delivery or pickup, right? You can't go there. There's very few stores you can actually walk into, right? Sit down, try on a pair of shoes, right? Walmart, but Walmart's in the loop, right? It's in Target, but Target's in the loop, right? Yeah, I need just some better lighting here. I'm losing my lighting. Oh, there we go. That's good. But now it's trying in my face. Okay. The delivery, generation. I mean, there's a whole bunch of kids who are gonna grow up. You know what I'm saying? Right? With this idea in their mind. You know what I'm saying? That they are the future. When the future's been here for 20 years already. The capabilities that they've had, what I'm saying, over the course of the last 20 years, right, are immense, right? There is no answer to, if we go off, right, and they stick the police on us, you know what I'm saying, we're in deep shit. We are, right? I mean, yeah, we outnumber them, yeah, we outgun them, yeah, we do, yeah, but they are trained, they're dedicated, and they are fighting for their lives right now. Right? Because the police are under fire, right? And shit's going to change. It's going to. It might not change in your city. It might not change in your little hillbilly town. It might not change out back in the middle of nowhere in Montana, right? But here in cities like Phoenix and New York and Denver and LA, right, it's going to change. It's either going to get worse, right, or it's going to go back to the way it was, 10 years ago, right before the cops started militarizing themselves. When Obama approved local police departments, to maintain and handle, right, military grade weapons. And that's what they had. That's what they got. They mean AR-15s they got, sticking up in the windshield. That's an M16A.
Shit.
It ain't the soldiers we got to worry about. It's the police. The police are the ones that are going to come get us. Because why? Because they're scared. Because Trump's scared. Because all the people out there in the government are scared. Because somebody's going to find out. This is going to leak out. Yeah, they did it. Did you hear that? You hear that, folks? That shotgun? Every night there's been, and we're down here nowhere. We're like a block and a half from work. There's nothing moving nowhere except you and me, and there's people over there shooting. What the fuck? Right? Anyways, that leads us right directly into number 6. Right? Number 6 is like this. Trump can't actually claim to have control, right, over the hearts and the minds. Hey, dude, hold this light. No, don't zero in, right? Here, watch. Let's see. It's probably going to fucking stop the video. Nah, there you go, blue. Right? He can't claim, you know what I'm saying, his dictatorship, right? Because he now realizes that a lot of Americans are not going to stand still for a lot of shenanigans, right? Because we are law-abiding people. For the vast majority of us are good people, law-abiding citizens that have never gotten in trouble, never will get in trouble, right? You know what I'm saying? And if they did get in trouble, that right, as soon as they're done with their probation or their fines or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying, they ain't never got in trouble again. Then there's idiots like me, who can't stay out of trouble. Right? Right? Okay. But why? I mean, there's a constitution. Slowly over the last, 20, 25 years, they have been taking away our constitutional rights. And they have been instituted all these constitutional free zones where the cops can do anything they want.